Alright, in this video we are going to look a little bit more at notifications. I got 3 requests, here they are right here, and I'm going to address all of these in this video. The person's having an issue with KWGT, or this could be KLWP. They have the icon showing, and when they cancel that icon or clear that icon, it will stay until a new one comes in. Well, I'm assuming in this case here is when there are no more notifications after that last one that you clear, it does not go away. So I have a fix for that. It just involves us hiding the entire group that we have this notification stuff sitting in. If the notification count is 0 for your cancelable notifications, we can just make this entire group go away, and that's going to hide all of this stuff. So then when a notification comes back in, it'll show this entire group of stuff that we have, whether it be inside of an overlap group, stack group, component, or what have you. So that's going to be the fix for that. I'm going to show you that in this video. Possible to show a new email that comes in like the sender, time, subject, and body within KLWP or a task or scene. Yes, we can do that. We can just get those notifications. The way I'm going to show you here is I'm just going to show it to you inside of all of the notifications. We could break it up into just particular emails. For example, this one right here. However, what happens, what I find happens with me, I use Blue Mail, and if I get a message or email message from somebody, if I start getting multiple emails, I can't see each individual one, and it'll say something like, I think down here for short text, it'll say 2 emails or 3 emails or something like that. But nonetheless, we can cycle through these things as I did back in an older video back here. And the last thing I want to address, this is something that I didn't even realize I was doing wrong in this tutorial. Maybe some of you have realized it is that the notification count, this is what's going to address this last issue right here. The notification count, that counts how many cancelable notifications you have. If it's 4, the way you access the notifications is you start indexing it at 0. So when you have 4 cancelable notifications, actually you're going to access them by going 0, 1, 2, 3. So when you include 0, you're still getting those 4 cancelable notifications. Well, I have a fix for that as well. As you can see here, I have 4 notifications that I can cancel, and I can cycle through these in this order right here, or I can go backwards as well. So, and now as I cancel, this is something we're going to have to do with our globals. Notice if I go back to here, 4. So I have some text message, I have the package, all this stuff showing through stuff using the notification function. All this stuff here over at help.kustom.rocks, you know, you can get all the various types of functions. These also show up in KLWP. But if I cancel this thing, I had this right here set to cancel. Well, what's going to happen is it's going to bump this down to 3, but it's also going to change this back. Watch, go ahead, boom. It goes to 3 of 3. So that's pretty cool, because now I have it coded set up to where it'll change this, and we can still cycle through, you know, these 3 notifications. Now, if I come through here and cancel out this Vivint thing, yeah, my alarm bot went off earlier because we opened the door, but nonetheless, no big deal. So I close this one. Now notice it's going to say 1 of 2 because my notifications went down to 2. But the fix that I have here is that, you know, if I'm at the last notification, it's automatically going to bump me down to the 1 of 1 that I have left. So here I am at the notification 2 of 2. I close that one, boom. Now, what's going to happen in this case, I'm going to leave this one up, because if I were to cancel this one, what's going to happen is that it's going to, well, let me go ahead and show you. What the heck? Boom. Okay, so now I have 0 of 0, all this stuff showing, blah, blah, blah. Well, what we want to do now, when we have 0 notifications that are cancelable, we want this entire thing to go away. And all we have to do is apply either an animation to fade out, or you can just do like a layer visibility that I've done some tutorials on. So let me go ahead and go into KLWP and show you how I have this set up. I have it all inside of a component. This component will be available on KLWP Toots. So cancelable notification stuff, I go over to globals, I have 2 globals. Num is what we're going to use to access all these various pieces, whether we want the icons, the app, the package, or what have you. But let me come back to fix. Fix is what we're going to use to toggle the number of notifications, like 1 of 1, 2 of 2, 3 of 3, or 1 of 4, 2 of 4, 3 of 4, what have you. But it's just a text global variable, and you can just make it 0 or whatever. It doesn't matter. I know it says 7 right here right now. I'm just going to make that 0. Okay. And now under num, what we want to do with this is for num, if gvfix is less than or equal to the number of notifications, again, this is under KLWP functions. So if we look right here, NI count is the number of cancelable notifications that you have. So if gvfix is less than or equal to the number of notifications that we have minus 1, very important, then we want to use whatever gvfix is. Otherwise, we want to set this thing to NI count minus 1. And the reason why, this gvnum that we have this inside of, this gvnum is going to be the thing that we use to access all of these pieces. And remember, if you had, say, 5 notifications, 5 cancelable notifications, the way KLWP is going to access them, it's going to start at 0. So when you have 5 notifications to cancel, it's going to access them by 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Hence, that's why I'm using the minus 1, because that's how we can access them. If you have 7 notifications, NI count, or if you want to access the 7th one, it's actually going to be number 6 in the NI function. And something to point out there is this, 0, all these zeros here are going to be the first notification. So it's not going to be a 1 there. When you put a 1 right here in this spot, it's actually going to be the second one, and so forth. So that's why I have this NI count minus 1 set up for that piece. And those are the only 2 globals we got to have. So therefore, when I go over to items, I'm going to show you all of these pieces very quickly. Cancelable notifications, that's just going to be NI count. So nothing crazy there. And I have cancelable notifications typed in. So that's going to tell you how many you have. What is this? The icon. Oh, that's the X. I just got to close there. Touch. What's that going to do? Custom action. Dismiss notification. Not dismiss all. I think there is a dismiss all in there. I'm not sure. And then this text here, this is going to be the app and the package. So this is where I have gvnum tied into that. Yes, there's a gvfix that we also have in our globals, but that's not tied into here. So gvnum, that's going to access 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, how many ever you have. But remember, the number of counts, the number of notifications that you have, if you have 7, as high as you want to go for this thing would be 6. And the way I have it set up, it's going to always work like that. We're not going to have that spot here where they were saying, there's an unknown showing and all this stuff, and that's because I think what I did back here in this video, I think what I did is I didn't tie that in. So that's the minus 1 is what's going to fix all of that. So app and package, what else do we have? We have the image. I decided to use the big, or just the app icon itself, but I have gvnum tied in there. That's what's pulling up that icon that we saw a few minutes ago, whether it be Vivid, email, text messages, or whatever. And then I have this last, oops, I got skipped one. So title, boom, 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 boom. Notice all of these are gvnum, and I think this works. I haven't got one yet where I had some long text, but you can do a description. Maybe I did. Maybe I overlooked it or something. But basically, I think this works. Like I said, I haven't paid much attention to it. But if the long text, the description of your notification, if it's blank, I think this works. Otherwise, I want to show no long text. Whereas if it's not blank, I want to show that. Again, that may not work. I just typed that in there last night. I didn't pay much attention to it, so my apologies. It just dawned on me right then that I was trying to test that out. Nonetheless, you can get a time that you received it. That was a request back here as well. The time that the notification comes in. Yeah, this is going to be dealing with all the notifications, not just email, but still you can get the time that your notification came in. How long ago was it? And let's see here, the last piece. Okay, this is where gvfix is tied into it. So text, let me go to text when it said 0 of 0 right now. But basically what this is going to be, it's going to be gvnum plus 1 of our number of notifications. Now the reason why I'm putting a plus 1 here, because remember, gvnum can be 0. And when it's 0, it's actually going to be the first notification. See, title of first, short text of first. So if I do gvnum plus 1, it's going to be like when I'm trying to get my first one, even though it's accessing it as 0, it's going to show a 1 of here. So this will be like, for example, if I have 5 notifications, it'll say 1 of 5, 2 of 5, 3 of 5, 4 of 5, 5 of 5. And now, since again, GVNum is actually can be 0 for the first one, this is also going to add 1 to the 1, the 2, the 3. That's how it's going to count up to be 1 of 5, 2 of 5, 3 of 5, 4 of 5, 5 of 5, if you have 5 notifications. That was the tricky part, and I don't know why I didn't think of that back when I did the notifications way back here. So my apologies for that. Nonetheless, here we go. Looking at the 2 icons, if we go to the one on the right, if I go over to its touch, and I'm toggling fix. This is where fix is tied into things. And remember, we have fix tied into GVNum. So those 2 text labels are working together. Well, what's the code that I have as I'm toggling fix? So if GVFix is less than NICount minus 1, so basically if I have 5 notifications, if GVFix would be less than 4 in that case, because if you have 5 notifications minus 1, you got 4, we want to add 1 to GVFix. And if it's not less than this, we want to bump it back to 0. All right, so again, GVFix can be anything up to the number of notifications that we have minus 1 from that. We continue to add 1 to GVFix, and when it resets it back to 0, that's what's going to link up with GVNum to access all these pieces that I showed you where I had GVNum in the functions of our notifications. I hope that makes sense. And then the same thing, well, not the same thing, but going back to the left, its code is going to be a little bit different. Yeah, it says minus 1 right now. It's no big deal. But if GVFix is greater than 0, we want to subtract 1 from GVFix. So basically, if we got a positive number, we want to subtract 1 from it. And if it's not greater than 0, we want to reset it back to the number of cancelable notifications that we have, but we want to be 1 less than that. Again, that's what's going to link up with GVNum. And remember, I know I've said this multiple times now, when you go to your first notification, it's actually going to access it as 0. So that's why I'm tying in this NICount minus 1. Now, the one thing that I don't have happening here is the fact that this thing is still showing and I have no notifications. So let me show you how to do that real quick. I'm going to take a quick break, take my phone out of airplane mode, and I'm going to send myself an email or a text message or something. So we're back. Now I have 2 cancelable notifications. If I were to cancel these, they haven't disappeared yet, but let me show you how we can get that quickly done. So they're going to go away once I cancel these things. I'm going to go back into KLWP, and on this entire component, I'm going to go to Layer, and either you can do a never, or you could do what? Remove. There is a difference between those. Maybe I'll do a tutorial on that sometime in the near future. But remove actually removes a layer. So if you have multiple stack groups, it'll remove that entire layer and it'll bump your stack groups up or left or right or what have you. Whereas never, I think it just hides it, but it doesn't actually remove the group. It's a big difference there, and it's actually very helpful depending on what you're trying to display. But nonetheless, right here, function if, what was it, NICount. I'm using that one. So if NICount equals 0, I want to never show this thing. Otherwise, I want to always show it. And just like that, that's going to remove this entire thing, and it's not going to show anything until we get a notification. So if NICount equals 0, I never want to see it. Otherwise, I always want to see it. So if I check this, save it, go back to the home screen again, I applied that to the layer of the entire component. So I have 2 notifications. If I cancel out this one, this is what I like, this little fix with the NICount minus 1 and the fix and the GVNum. If I cancel this one, it automatically bumps these things back down to 1 of 1. Not doing it the way I did it, it will keep this as a 2 when it actually is only 1 notification left. So it fixes everything, and I'm a big fan of that. As you can see, it did it right there. So what's going to happen now when I cancel this notification? By the way, I have this little X here set to touch. Oh, I did mention that. I already mentioned that earlier in the tutorial. But nonetheless, when I cancel this, it should go away. As you can see, everything did go away. And just real quickly, I'm going to send myself another, I think if I actually cut off my Wi-Fi and if I cut it back on, I don't have to pause the video for this. So let me cut the Wi-Fi back on. I think it's going to pop up a notification, one that I can cancel. Let's see if it's going to do that. Yep, see, boom. So one of my cancelable notifications, perfect. So this will show as long as you have a cancelable notification, otherwise it will just pop right off the screen. And yeah, there you have it. That's addressing 3 things, going back to the old video that I had back here. Again, hopefully that GVNum, GVFix will fix that. Also hiding the icon. Again, you can apply this thing here where you notice if I cancel this again, everything goes away. You can apply that just to the icon. If you still want to see your notification stuff, put that icon for your notification in its own little overlap group or stack group and hide just that thing based on layer. And then again, also here, the emails, yeah, I have the emails tied into all of the cancelable notifications because I find sometimes that email, if I get multiple emails, it gets kind of wonky if I were to use this function down here where you can get the text of the first, in this case it wouldn't be Gmail, type in whatever package you have for your email application for that part. It got a little weird, so I just tied them all into the cancelable notifications. And then last but not least, yes, the GVFix, GVNum, fixing that issue there. But there you have it. That's part 2, I guess you can say, of KLWP notifications, and that is it for this video. I hope it helped.